Detroit Lions hosting the Rams. And even though everyone's all over this is our Sunday night game, even though everyone's all over the Stafford return to Detroit type train, let's remember what Kenny said when he introduced this game. It's both quarterbacks playing against their former teams. Jared Goff playing against his former team. Let's not forget that. Huge narrative here. 3.5-point favorites are the Detroit Lions. So we see Sam Laporta go down. Dan Campbell in a meaningless game, in a meaningless time in the game. Just exactly like biggest clown award, exactly what we didn't need to see. These are why we don't play in those meaningless games at the end of the year. Minus 166 on the money line are the Detroit Lions as the favorites. 51.5 is the over. I really want to see Detroit make a run here for the fan base. But the way the Rams have been playing, they're going to give them a tough route, a tough run in this game. I do think, though, with the Detroit Lions front and Aiden Hutchinson firing up the boys, we got a home playoff game, won the division for the first time since 1993. We got a lot of hype around us right now. I'm going to ride this Detroit Lions train and give Lions a W.
I disagree. I'm on the Rams.
Oh, well, I know why you're on the Rams. Sorry to say that.
Yeah, look, I mean, I'm going to be a little biased here because I'm holding some very juicy Rams future tickets, but dude, if you're the Lions, I think the Rams are like the last team that you wanted to see. Like the Rams are the single hottest team, other than the Buffalo Bills. Like the Rams are the hottest team in the NFL right now. They've lost one game since Halloween, and it was in overtime, in torrential downpour, in Baltimore, in a game that they probably should have won. That's their only loss. This Rams offense is a juggernaut. I think you can make a case the Rams have the best, top to bottom, the best offense in the NFL right now. Now the defense leaves some to be desired, but you can't count them out. They got, Aaron Donald is a force to be reckoned with. Again, Kobe Turner has been an absolute madman. Steaming up. I didn't see him listed on a single book for Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then like a week ago they listed him, and he was like the third odds behind Jalen Carter and Will Anderson. So. Look, I think it's going to be a shootout. Again, total's 51.5. I think it could even go over that. Like, I think this is giving me that, like, the Rams Chiefs. Remember the Rams Chiefs game? Goff versus Mahomes a couple years ago.
Yeah, that color rush game. It was like a million to a million.
I think we might be getting that game Sunday night. I mean, I think this game has shootout written all over it. And I think either of these teams can compete in a shootout. A lot of it is going to depend on, what the deal with Laporta is. It's a massive loss. He's their second or third best, offensive weapon behind St. Brown and like maybe Gibbs. Like this guy has been the just most reliable weapon that they have. And if he's out or banged up, like that's a massive, massive, massive loss. So I'm waiting to see what the deal is there. They're calling it, bone bruise, hyperextended knee. It sounds very, very similar to the injury Travis Kelce got right before week one. And then I think it happened on like Tuesday, and Kelce ended up playing that Thursday. So my guess is Laporta is going to play, but it's not going to be 100%. I'm not betting against the Rams right now, man. Like you can't stop this offense. And if it's just a race to 40, give me the Rams.
I'm on Rams money line as well, but it's mainly because this morning I took the Rams plus 5,000. Kenny, I had no idea you were on the Rams as well. I texted this motherfucker right before I placed it. I'm looking at the odds on FanDuel for Super Bowl. So I need a fun bet. I just need one. And I'm looking, I'm just tied between the Texans and the Rams. And I'm like, wait a second. These motherfuckers have been playing the playoffs since literally Thanksgiving. Their only loss, like you said, was to the Ravens in the game they should have won in torrential downpour. They have arguably, on the NFC side of things, when it comes to playoffs, quarterback I'd want the most out the NFC, arguably Stafford. Coach I want the most out the NFC, talk about experience, arguably McVay. And they found gems on defense. Let's talk about the guys we can shut down. The corners have got their young corners that they found to be gems. They have gems in the trenches. We talk about how we win football games. You want a $5, $10 ticket to have some fun. That's all I was looking at, and it makes a lot of sense. I placed that Rams ticket so fast. Now I know me and you were aligned, Kenny. I might go back and put 20 more on the Rams just to have some fucking fun. It just makes so much sense to me, and I'm down to have some fun. So I'm putting on the Rams.
The only thing that pisses me off is that I took the Rams. I took the Rams to win the NFC and the Rams to win the Super Bowl. Like I think it was like 3 weeks ago, and at the time they had they needed to win and they needed help to clinch, right? So like it was looking like they were probably going to make the playoffs, but they still had to take care of business. and they were plus 7,000 to win the Super Bowl. If I knew that they were going to get the 6th seed, and I could have woken up this morning and still got them at 50 to 1, like I probably would have waited. I'm glad I got it at 70 to 1 instead of 50.
Insane.
But like, yeah, I think the Rams today, right now, at plus 5,000 to win the Super Bowl, I think is beyond disrespectful.
Who are you afraid of in a shootout? Because it's going to be a shootout. This team
is really, really good. Again, as an Eagles fan, I wanted to lose, so we had to play Tampa instead of the chance to play the Rams at home. Like I don't want to see the Rams right now at all. So I think the Rams and Lions, again, they match up well with each other. It's going to be a great game. And again, I look at it similarly to the Texans Browns. I think it's closer to a coin flip than anything else. Mm-hmm. So give me the hottest team in the NFL at plus money with the most experience.
Final thought before I pass to you, Alex. When I talking to people who are listening and watching, when it comes to the Rams, when it comes to these matchups, and if it comes down to a shootout, when we talk about quarterback, running back, wide receiver tandems, play callers, who would you rather have when it comes down to it? If it comes down to a shootout close game, to me, give me the fucking odds, man. Let's have some fun.
Yeah, and the stat on that as well is when they have, I saw this a couple weeks ago, when the Rams have Kyren Williams, Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, and Cooper Kupp on the field, they rank number 1 on offense in every single category across the board. Look at him. Every single one. Those guys are on the field. They are the number 1 ranked offense statistically in the entire league. So that's something to take note of there as well. I'm rooting for you guys. I remember seeing that Rams ticket out there. I just think we got to follow the.
I missed the 7K. I'm a dumbass. I love it.
Even the 5K right now, I remember texting you today.
But 7K.
That's still very healthy. But 7K is crazy. All right, so our final game of the slate on this wild card weekend. Philadelphia Eagles, both of y'all birds playing in Tampa. Tampa wins the division with the big win over the sloppy win, I should say, over the Panthers yesterday. Eagles are still favored after not only going 1-5 in the last 6 games of the season, 2.5-point favorites. The over-under set at 44, but we do get to go play in sunny, warm Tampa Bay.
Yes, we do.
And out of this shitty weather, rainy, cold weather here in Philadelphia. What do you got here? A lot of fans are quitting on the Eagles right now. We're talking about we need some coaching changes. But right now, I still can't pick Baker and the Bucs to beat the Eagles in this situation. I'm on the Eagles to move on, and then we'll assess the damages and get to round 2.
You know, I can already see the Joe Jurevicius game-winning touchdown to knock us out of the playoffs. Dude, it's very fitting that where this Eagles team is right now and how the year has ended, that we get to face like the team in the NFC that has been like weirdly our biggest problem in big games.
History.
Really, just really throughout my lifetime. I feel like we played the Bucs in so many of these games.
My dad still talks about that shit, bro.
We got very, very lucky in that. Like the matchups shook out how they did. Like the Bucs stink. The Eagles stink too. We are all for it now. We have no identity. Our offense stinks. Our defense stinks. We can't stop anybody on 3rd down. And even with that said, I mean, this Bucs team is just atrocious.
Yeah.
Like hats off to I like Baker Mayfield. I mean, like what he's done this year is impressive. I'm happy for him. It's sort of rejuvenated his career a little bit. Quieted some of the doubters, but again, he doesn't look right either. I feel like he limps off the field every single drive. Again, Mike Evans had a tremendous year, but I don't see it. I think even a bad Eagles team can find their way to win this game, but it's not going to be pretty. And we win this game, and for the right to go into Jerry World and play Dallas, we have a lot of things to figure out over the next week, 2 weeks, if that's going to be relatively close. I've lost faith in this team. Vibes are low. It's not good. But again, we're in the unique spot that, we kind of get an opportunity to get right. And look, you don't want to have to get right in the first round of the playoffs. Like that's typically a situation that's gonna lead to disaster here. But like again,
we've seen it done before.
The Bucs stink. The Bucs stink. If we go out there, nothing would be like if the Eagles go out there and blow them out, which again, I don't expect that to happen, but it's in there somewhere. They're capable of doing it. I think if you're the Eagles, you're looking at this as an opportunity to, hey, look, man, like I know, like we have our backs against the wall right now. We have probably the worst vibe of any team going into the playoffs, and we can essentially put all of that in the rear view with one game. We go into Tampa and we win a stress-free game and we play some Eagles football. I think there will be a lot of hype on the Eagles, going into what's likely Dallas the following week. So we'll see what happens here, but I think this is a game that, like, look, I'll say this: if the Eagles lose this game, I think everybody is gone, including Sirianni, and it's crazy that that's even a possibility, given where we were like a month ago. But I don't know how the season can unfold the way that it's had, and then you still get the luckiest matchup of all time, and then you go lose to Baker Mayfield in the playoffs. Like you're out. So a lot of pressure on the Birds here, but again, it's an opportunity for them to get right and clean the slate going forward. So we'll see what happens here, but man, I can't believe that like this is the tone of my voice on January 8th. I can't believe it.
Let me just ask him this first. So just because you're riding the Rams here, if the Rams win, you guys will get Dallas. Now, if the Lions win, you get 49ers. What's your best outcome? Who do you want in that situation? Obviously, you want the Rams for the bet, but as an Eagles fan of if our team wins, we either got to go, to Dallas or to San Francisco. Where do you want to go?
Give me Dallas.
So a lot of people were saying this. So I put the tweet out a couple of days ago, like, "Hey guys, am I the only Eagles fan that doesn't want to win Week 18 because of blah blah blah?" And I gave the whole spiel, like, we could either play the Rams, we could play the Rams at home, or we could, go into Tampa. And the number one rebuttal that I got was, well, look, if we lose and then we play the Bucs, we're going to have to play San Fran the second weekend.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
We got to play We're going to have to play San Fran anyway. Mm-hmm. Like I'm going forward under the assumption that San Fran is not going to lose until I don't know, we beat them or they're going to the Super Bowl. I mean, like the San Fran, top to bottom, is the best team in the NFL, and it's not particularly close. So, like, yeah, if Detroit wins, if the Rams win, and then we play Dallas, and I guess who would go play?
It'd be Rams would. If the Rams win,
yeah. If the Rams win and we win, Rams will go to San Fran. Yep. We would play Dallas. Like, yeah, I would rather play Dallas than play San Fran. But like, San Fran's probably not going anywhere. We're gonna have to beat them eventually. So I didn't really put a whole lot of thought into like the look ahead matchups. Like, San Fran's gonna be there anyway. Like, you're gonna have to get through them if you want to get to the Super Bowl. So if we've got to play them a week early, like, to me, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
No, you're right. You actually helped me cope a little bit because I was like ready to chalk the season. But honestly, maybe see some bright spots, especially if we get to go play the Cowboys again, just because of familiarity and just to something I thought about sitting here. So I'm gonna go my pick. I'm gonna go with the Eagles now. I'm gonna change sides. I'm gonna say we can win this game finally. They do suck, and Baker being hurt, I think Baker being hurt hurts them way more. If Baker's fully healthy, it probably is a little more scary for us, but. So I'm looking back to one of my first years of being an Eagles fan when I was a young boy, 07, 08. We limp into the playoffs. The Cardinals are on the other side as a wild card. I'm seeing a similarity here. If we can win, the Rams can win. We go to Dallas. The Rams go to San Fran. Now, during that Cinderella run, Cardinals had Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald, and they had one of the best playoff runs we've ever seen in the history of the playoffs. But I'm just saying, high potent offense, weapons, there's some similarities there. Cardinals and Eagles met in the NFC Championship, and that was one of I don't really remember the game itself of 04. I remember being at the party and losing. That was like my first just gut-wrench heartbreaker. Deshaun Jackson scores a touchdown, Kurt Warner leads them down the field. We lose in the NFC Championship. We know what happens after that. I think there's a chance we can see the Cinderellas meet in the NFC Championship, and that's the only thing that's going to help me cope. Is it going to happen? No, it's not happening. That's just how I'm going to cope for the next week and a half watching the playoffs. I just hope that's the outcome we can get, because that's probably the best and I think realistic outcome for an Eagles fan you can hope for. So that's what I'm fucking hoping for. The
only thing I'll say is, like, even if look, let's just say fantasy universe, things go great. Let's say the Eagles make a run to the Super Bowl. You can't call it a Cinderella run when we were supposed to be the number one seed. We came into the year as like the favorite to top three favorite to go back to the Super Bowl. And 4 weeks ago, it looked like that was the case. So just because, like, you can't be a Cinderella because you collapsed and turned yourself into a Cinderella. But really, it just, like, every single criticism against the Eagles right now is warranted. And then some, right? I mean, like, I don't think this is just, a good team getting bad breaks, getting unlucky. I mean, this team looks awful. I just think that we're presented with a unique opportunity that we get the most cake playoff matchup that we could literally possibly get. And dude, it's a what have you done for me lately business, short-term memory. Go in there, blow them out, because even this version of the Eagles is capable of doing that. And then you march into Dallas with a clean slate, and you're back to where you were a couple of weeks ago. So I haven't really seen anything from the Eagles in the last month and a half that leads me to believe that like this is going to happen. But I just think that, look, back against the wall, vibes couldn't be lower. But I think this is probably the best situation a team like this could have asked for, which is, again, a potential get-right spot wildcard weekend. I think it's bullshit we got to play on Monday. I don't know why we're playing on Monday.
I hate that shit. What the fuck? That's like our 6-1 this year.
Why is that? I mean, that because they're putting? Yeah, they got to put the Eagles fan base on the last.
Just money.
I'm trying to just think of another slot. Like I don't know.
1 o'clock on Sunday. Like I don't get why you can't have Packers Cowboys at 1, Rams Lions at 4:30, or vice versa, and then give us a night game Sunday night. I mean, just like whoever wins that game is at a slight disadvantage going into the following weekend because you have one less day of rest, and in the NFL that's massive. So we kind of got screwed there. But you know what, man? If you didn't feel like playing on Monday, you shouldn't have lost like 5 of your last.